You're calling from a 314 area code. Who's this?
Hi, this is Jackson.
Hi, Jackson. What's on your mind?
Hey, first-time caller. I actually just found your show a little bit ago. I'm firmly in the sort of secular progressive camp, and I live with a roommate, and he's going to be working at Goldman Sachs. He's very libertarian. And you made some good points. You made some great points yesterday, how I hadn't thought that libertarians sort of exercise politics as an intellectual exercise and don't sort of live in a reality. And I wanted to say that what he believes is the future of the Libertarian Party should be pushing for universal basic income and cut every other program.
Right.
Is sort of trying to bridge into a reality. And my argument to him was, well, then you're a Democrat.
Well, I mean,
if you're pushing for universal basic income.
No, look, there's no two libertarians that are alike. The idea of universal basic income appeals to libertarians because it would allow them to get rid of all the other programs. I think it was Milton Friedman who advocated that tack. For me, my only problem with universal basic income is that it can be seen as a mechanism to get rid of those other programs. In and of itself, right. I am for UBI, and if I thought there was a way to sort of bring that about without it being a direct assault on other programs, because look, it's just not going to be enough. I would certainly be open to like a period of time where there's some overlap and where we start to see, when we start to get some feedback as to like, oh, what's this doing in terms of housing? What's this doing in terms of education? What's this doing in terms of food security and job training and whatnot? And we found one area like, wow, weirdly, all of a sudden, like there's a lot more housing opportunities for people or whatnot. I mean, I think, I would definitely be open to it. It was interesting to hear from a libertarian perspective, just because my view of universal basic income is you could cut some welfare programs with a universal basic income, but not completely. You could shrink them a bit with the UBI, but his theory would be cut all of them. And I was just coming up with examples of situations where more likely than not, a universal basic income isn't going to be enough for someone, and we need those programs. Right. Here's another idea.
I was wondering if there was...
Here's another interesting thing about it that I also sort of like about it. If someone concedes the idea, what is behind the idea of a universal basic income? Now, I would imagine for your roommate, it is a sort of all in terms of practical considerations. We'll be able to cut the welfare state. Yeah. It will free up the free market, and people will have innovation and blah, blah, blah. And I think, some of that is true, except for the part about the free market existing. But also what it says to me is that there is an understanding in our society that everyone should have a bare minimum of subsistence in some fashion, that everyone has a right to whatever that basic income can provide. And if we can agree on that concept, then it seems to me that it's not so hard to sort of say like, well, also, if we're really looking for efficiency, and we believe that basic income, that universal basic income should be a universal because there is a certain level of existence we believe humans have a right to in a civilized society, then things like, healthcare, why can't that be part of it? And it's a very simple argument. I mean, this is, you don't have to be a mathematician to know the data on this. A single payer is a much more efficient system to provide health insurance. I mean, it's just by any measure it is. That's the things that, and education for that matter, right? I mean, let's untether education from income. And we know that it's tethered to, even in public schools, we know that it's tethered to income. It's a little bit of a bank shot, but not too much of one because, we can look at what district a school is in. We can take the median income and we can really very closely track and predict the quality of the school. So that stuff is, that.
Cool. Yeah,
Right, I appreciate
definitely. That's basically all. I was curious about whether you thought it was compatible to have a libertarian philosophy and a universal basic income, and I guess in some levels it
Yeah,
is.
definitely. I mean, it's not strange for me that a libertarian would support universal basic income. It is strange for me to run into two libertarians who agree on what they're talking about. But I do appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a universal income argument based off of free market, freedom, individuated principles. If I could share.
Sure.
All right. What?
Go ahead.
Phone line's not too good. Okay, I'll speak. So we could all agree on freedom, I believe. And the notion would be that free individuals would want some degree of income, which I could agree with. The question is a delivery mechanism for that income. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Jetpacks?
Jetpacks.
It's call for the sick. Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.